DC Universe has now entered the swamp. What's up, YouTubers of the world? Making Geek Mixer here to give you guys the TV series premiere of Swamp Thing. So, guys, DC Universe is now on their third original TV series on the DC Universe streaming app. It all started with the Titans, which did good with some of its flaws there, but it still was good to me. And I hope we get it even better as we make our way into season 2. And then we had the amazing, awesome unpredictability-ness of Doom Patrol with awesome casting, awesome storytelling, one of the best superhero shows I have seen in a long time. Loved it from beginning to end, and now we are entering into the swamp with Swamp Thing. And let me just say, the genre of what we have here: horror, gothic, thrill, and not to mention mysteries, detective stuff going on around here. I like it. I like what we're getting here. It is amazing. It just keeps you at the edge of your seats, especially when it starts to get to those intense moments, like something big's about to happen, but it don't happen necessarily, but you will still be surprised by some moments in there, even if they're not that big moments, and then other moments will be like just boom, right there out of nowhere, like you didn't see that coming at all. And man, that's exactly what I was feeling as I kept watching this show. It was crazy. Before I go into the main characters, let me just say, we got ourselves in a little interesting thing here at the beginning. If you guys know RJ, who played as Billy from the Power Rangers movie, and as the kid who was hired by Tobias Will and Black Lightning, he's also in this first episode too. He's doing something illegal with these two other guys, but unfortunately they're not able to go through with it, all because the swamp attacks them. At first, yeah, I'm thinking it's Swamp Thing, but no, really, it's more in the fact that this swamp is like mystic, like it's alive, like there's a spirit or something living in there, and it's alive. And basically, the town that lives by it, that lives in Louisiana, it thrives off that swamp. The swamp is what made it be what it is in that town. But even still, there seems to be something else going on about with it, because it also seems like a virus has been let loose and it's spreading all over the town, which eventually leads us into our two main characters, that being Abby Arcane and then Alec Holland. These two are investigating things. At first it looks like they both are investigating something different. Abby would be a doctor who works for a company named CBC, and they go around curing all sorts of diseases as possible. And while you got Alec over here, who was hired by one of the main people of the town, like maybe the mayor or something, a guy named Sutherland, Mr. Sutherland, and his wife, Miss Sutherland, Maria Sutherland. But it seems there's something more here, because when Alec and Sutherland were talking, I saw something strange with them. Like, it's almost like as if he did hire this guy, but then it's almost like Sutherland's regret hiring him. Almost it's because like it sounded like Alec's getting somewhere with something that Sutherland doesn't even want to discuss. Because I'm not going to deny, when we first met Sutherland, I could tell straight off the bat, and let me just first off give props to the actor who kills it with how he's acting, because already you look at that guy and I just look at him and I'd be like saying to myself, this guy has got to be doing something with those guys that were at the beginning of the episode. Like maybe he's behind it, like sending those guys out there, because already with the way he talks, it already gives you that crazy vibe saying that, yeah, this guy's probably an antagonist and he's probably the one doing whatever's happening out there in that swamp, and why people keep dying in that swamp, because of maybe some illegal things going on in there. And then there is the thing with his wife, which I believe is maybe even worse than with what's going on with him right now. Maybe, not quite sure. All I just know is what we got with her, it makes me scared of what's going to happen, what more might happen with her later on, because she has problems with Abby. I'll get to that here in a second. Speaking of Abby, like I said, yeah, sorry I got off on that thing. I was talking about Alec and Abby. So these two are working together. They don't work together at first, because Abby's brought back to her hometown of Marion. I think that's the name of the town. I'm sorry if I butchered it. I just trying to. It's just starting, so I'm gonna take some time to remember. And I admit I haven't really read too many Swamp Thing comics, but I will be as we continue on with this series. But definitely, yeah. She comes back to town. She didn't really want to. That's because there's something about her past when she was living there and graduating and growing up that happened to her, and it made her feel really guilty and hoping she'd never really come back because it's just all that is. It's guilt in her. But with the disease carrying on that started with, I said, that girl Sophia, it continued to spread. But then she met Alec, and then they eventually started to see that their things that they're working on might have a connection. They first find that out when Abby goes to the girl's father's house, and she meets up with an old friend of hers named Matt. As they're investigating, do they find Alec there collecting a sample? But not only that, do they find Sophia's father, who is covered up in all sorts of vines and plants, and it is just freaky, scary. Well, not scary to me, but definitely freaky. And for those who aren't used to horror stuff like that, so it would definitely put you up for a surprise and all. And if things didn't get worse enough, when it turns out, like, okay, so Alec takes Abby to his lab where it turns out he has this thing that's called mutagen, and when he puts it on the plants, first when it does that, it gets into these plants coming alive. And let me just say, do I love the special effects that they get with that thing. It is beautiful, it is amazing, and as the story goes on, as Abby and Alec are investigating this, do I love the investigation and mystery plots they put in here, along with some Easter eggs to some mystery books out there, especially when Alec said, do you like mysteries and stuff like that, and she's just like, no, and everything. Let me just say that those two and their chemistry, it works so well together. You can tell right off the bat, they work well together there. I mean, it's pretty clear that, yeah, they looks like they might have something later on in the future, but still, but what we're starting at, I like that. I really do like that. But as they continued on, this is where I'll now get into Abby's past. You see, she had a friend who was the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Sutherland, but 2 days before their graduation in high school, an accident happened, and in that accident, Abby lost her friend, Shauna, the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Sutherland. Miss Sutherland, Maria Sutherland, hates Abby for it because she blames her for it. And even she admits that she killed Shauna, her best friend. Now, the way she's talking about how she said she killed her, it's basically it was an accident, but even so, she still feels guilty and horrible for it. But I think it only gets worse for knowing that Maria Sutherland, who really doesn't even want her in the town, has only let her stay into the town so she can cure that girl Sophie, and yeah, there's that scene where she's with them in the bar and she's just giving her the cold shoulder and like an out of control anger. I'm telling you, yeah, like I get if you want to be mad at someone, you can be mad at somebody, but I think there's a point where your anger can get a little out of control that it's frightening. It makes you wonder what's this woman gonna do, because I feel that because it's pretty clear Abby's gonna still have to stay around, and her anger is only gonna continue to get worse here. I hope she maybe can get some therapy or something to help her out here and controlling this anger. Because, yeah, if this continues on, I hate to think what she's going to do. But continuing on forward, though, as Alec and Abby were studying that plant thing, thanks to the autopsy she was doing, did the plants come to life, and that Sophia came out of her coma and stuff, but only went back into it later. Because it's just showing the disease is just picking up and stuff. And eventually, with Alec and Abby going to the wreckage where those guys at the beginning of the episode ship went down, it's all just like stuck together by those vines and stuff. Do they find clues and everything? Once some tests are revealed to show that there's more going on out there, Alec goes out there to find it, and it's just showing that, yeah, he's getting too close to something that somebody doesn't want him to see because it's obviously illegal. He gets shot, And if you guys know Alec Holland, he is known as the one who is Swamp Thing. And well, as he got shot, that's how he becomes Swamp Thing. And yeah, and eventually Abby finds him, but only as Swamp Thing. She doesn't know it's him, but it's clear she's gonna find out eventually. But with what we got right now, it is definitely showing here that yeah, we're entering some very dark, disturbing times. You can just feel the dark and gothic thrillingness and mysteries just get bigger and bigger and bigger as they're going on. And right now, this is why I'm loving DC with their original content and TVs. With Titans, you had like a mixture of this. First you had Raven and her story with learning about her father and everything and the organization that was after her, while it would break that off and split up with showing other Titans out there or people associated with the Titans in season 1. Then you had Doom Patrol with this unpredictably funny randomness going on and everything with all these different characters with great acting skill. And then now we're entering that genre, as we say, of horror, thrills, and mysteries, and I am loving it. This is definitely showing that DC with their content of these TV shows, they're using different genres that are working well for these characters in general here as they're moving forward. And I definitely can't wait to see more as we continue to go on and learn more about all these other characters, such as Matthew, that police officer who's a friend of Abby's, another friend of Abby's, a girl named Liz who is a reporter. So definitely can't wait to see what more we're getting here. Oh, and not to mention Abby's gay friend, I forget his name, but he works with her at the CBR, and let me just say, and yeah, I can tell these people are going to play some big roles going forward, so I definitely can't wait to see what we got going here. I like where we're starting. I can't wait to see what more we're going to get. But I'm going to hop and hold it off right there, guys. Until then, if you're enjoying my videos, all you got to do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And until then, Mega Geek Mixer signing out. Bye!